Hello everybody. Hello. Pardon my tardy. It is going crazy here, Gothic. Thank you so much. Thank you for the welcome, GM. Hello. How's that audio? How's that audio treating us? I seem a little far away. I can adjust the camera, but then she'll give us Kubi time. Princess, thank you so much. I was able to see the little crochet figure that you made for Valonius. I thought that was so sweet. I also felt like my friends were there. Inu, thank you for the gifted. Thank you for checking in on me. It's a little quiet. Maybe a little quiet. Hold on. Boop, boop. Beep, beep, beep. Okay. Is this making it louder or is this making it bugged out? Me, bugged out or louder? Hee haw. Hee haw. Someone else made that, sadly. I don't know who. Oh, Valonius? Valonius said you made it. Tallulah, thank you so much. The audio is crispy now. Tallulah, thank you. Golly. Thank you so much. Sweet Cherry, thank you so much for subscribing. Okay, T. Think the audio is good? Okay. Cherry, thank you so much. We are working through this cowlick right now, everybody. Yeah, I had a really good trip. I will tell you all about it in excruciating detail. You know I'm good for it. I got it. This is my very first squishmallow. Very first squashmallow, I've heard people call it. Oh, look at the tag. He's just a chicken nugget. Very first squashmallow. And he really came in handy because I traveled without any plushies. And I see all of you guys in the airports and shit with your stuffed animals and at the hospital and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, what's keeping me from doing that? I didn't pack any plush for my trip. And our very first night there, Valoni took us to the mall because his partner is looking for Gengar. And this was at Claire's. Did you know that Claire had this shit? They had Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow. And they were all really cute. I really like the design. Girl, I thought these were $5. They are $20 each. So I see you. I see you with your apartment full of these millionaires. This was $20, but if it was buy one, get your second one half price. But I was really dealing with a lot of luggage anxiety, so I just bought one, but honestly, I really recommend the Knuckles. I think he is really cute. I think his design snapped. Claire's is notoriously expensive for Squish, to be fair. Oh. The licensed ones are really expensive for a small one. Yeah, on my receipt, it said plushie exclusion Pusheen. So it made me think that Claire's always charged $20, but you're right. It's probably just because this is like a licensed moment. I was really happy to have him though, because I didn't have my own personal Sonic on my trip. Can we? Sorry, I'm going to be clearing my throat. There's like a water crisis in Philadelphia right now. Yeah, now I'm a squish bitch. Did you bring Bill the thingy you had in your hallway closet for a long time? Forgot what it was. Yes. So quickly, thank you everybody for being here today. Let's post on my Instagram story that I'm live. Oh, so friendly. Live Roarin on Twitch. So this last week, if you're wondering where the hell I was in Miami. Twitch.tv/ I went to Miami to meet and work with my manager, Valonius. Newly manager, probably for like 6 months now. Friend before that. Did we get a hype train? Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Did you listen to Will Smith all the time? See, as someone who lived in West Philly for a couple years, I really can't set the mood with Will Smith anymore. He's following me, frankly. No, I didn't listen to Miami by Will Smith, but we did drive where the set, where the video was filmed. Haven't been able to make a stream in like a year, so happy you're here. You look amazing. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. I have sunburn. That's how you can. I have sunburn, and I also have sun poisoning right there. See that one? Sun poisoning. I was really out for like 2 seconds. We had sunscreen on. I'm getting ahead of myself. So a week ago, I went to Miami, Florida to do a work bestie trip with my work bestie. I've known Valonius online, I think for like 4 years now, you guys want to say? I feel like I knew him a full year before pandemic. And I'm at a point now with the pandemic where I've decided it was a long time ago. So now I'm like, oh, pandemic? Knew him before pandemic. I forget when. I think it was the June before pandemic, actually. But we have always hit it off right away when we first started talking. We switched to like talking on the phone, and now we talk like pretty regular every day. And maybe like 6 months ago, he pivoted from being a creator to like managing creators, which I really think he's good for. Him and I would always compare notes, and sponsors always really, really liked him. Much more than me. And he helped me get a gig last year with Simply Safe. And you guys have never actually seen that sponsorship because they didn't require me to post it. They just wanted me to film it and give it to them. So it's theirs. But Valoni helped me get that sponsorship last year. And now he's kind of just been like a talent manager, which is super fun. So he got me this gig that kind of requires a lot of content. So we decided that I should just fly down there and he would help me shoot, which was super fun. A week did not feel like enough time once I got there. But before I went, a week seemed like an overwhelmingly long amount of time to be away from my cats and out of my status quo. Because I haven't left Philly for a long time. The last time I was on an airplane was for Joanna Newsom tour. And shout out to my Joanna Newsom bestie. Shout out. This is our moment. So, did John live off of bones? He, with peace and love, didn't run the dishwasher the whole time I was gone. But when I came back, I just looked at it. And then he ran it. So still, at least I didn't have to come back and do it. So last week I started my journey to Miami, and I woke up really early. I had like done all my laundry the night before and put it in a basket that is right next to me. because I couldn't decide, like, on everything. However, I flew Spirit airline, and on stream we could not fucking figure out what their bag policy was. So when I got to the airport, I did take this picture for us to just... iCloud storage is full. Yeah. I took this picture of the airport for us. Okay, so they have this thing. It's like a shelf thing. And we were all like, if you just buy a fucking ticket for Spirit, you just walk on? Or are you allowed to have a purse or a wallet or nothing? So this top thing is called your personal item. See that? So your personal item. So it says 18 by 14 by 8. It doesn't have a weight limit. So if you're bringing plutonium or something, bags must fit completely into the bins below. So that's a personal item. And you can see underneath, the carry-on becomes a little wider. And I actually thought these sizes were kind of generous. So I brought a tote bag. I guess I should have brought it upstairs for a visual. But I have this, like, not like a little bitchy tote. I have like a wide boy tote, almost like a beach bag tote. It's kind of like a streetwear tote bag that I have, that I'll wear sometimes. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've definitely seen this tote bag before. Actually, I took a picture of it. So I brought this tote bag as my personal item, and she fit perfectly with like a little bit of room. So I think if this tote bag ended up being like a couple inches bigger, it would have worked. But this right here is my purse. This is my purse. It's like a mini backpack. So for the tote bag, I shoved my purse, these two things. These are called Sokies. I got these for Valonius. And then underneath, you can see this like tiniest little... Hold on. Hello? Sorry, hold on a second, guys. Oh, like a pizza guy is putting flyers on our doors. I was like, hello? This like tiniest little piece of green is a tote bag, like a reusable shopping bag. And in that is where I put all my... What the fuck? That's weird. That's never happened. Sorry, did your ears blow out? How does that even happen? Whatever. That's weird. I hope I put that back in right. So in that like reusable shopping bag thing, I just put my toiletries in this. So I didn't need to do this. Did you know that? I didn't need to do this anymore. You don't have to do this anymore. I didn't know that. But there were like a ton of other people at the airport who also didn't know this. So I feel like they change the rules all the time. So that was my carry-on, that was my personal item. And then, like, inside my purse, I had my book. I've been reading that Margaret Atwood book, Arnix and Kronks, or whatever the fuck. Hard words to say. It's fine. See, I like this book a lot, and I don't. I like, you ever watching a show and the main storyline is whatever, and like the subplot you like better in that episode, but it's a cartoon, so it's like, you know, you're just watching it while you eat. Maggie Addy. I love the like behind plot. The rest of the shit, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. All these words are so fucking hard to say. Like, congratulations on being a genius. Yeah, so in my backpack, I was able to put a book and tissues and like my debit card and stuff. So I could access that pretty easy, but still had like this. Oinks and croinks. Please, it's like, it's really good. And I sunk like 6 hours into it the last week. So the day of my flight, I woke up really early. All my laundry was clean. But I was really worried about packing too much stuff. So I just, my carry-on, I decided would be a backpack. I don't have a suitcase. I'm not a jet setter. Maybe after this I might get a suitcase, but I think having a backpack made everything a lot easier. Maybe I'll just get a bigger backpack. Packed all my clothes in a backpack, and I knew that at some point during the week I would have to do laundry in order to have enough clothes. I packed the morning of, but like gathered everything I wanted the night before. Not super smart, but I knew I wasn't packing a ton of stuff, is what I'm trying to say. I packed 2 pairs of shoes. I vetoed a 3rd pair of shoes. It's like thrown about like right off screen, where I was like, never mind. And then I packed all my like socks, underwear stuff in a smaller bag that could like close, and put that on top in the backpack. Zip, and zipped it up. That really worked for me, but I think like when I showed you the carry-on whole assortment, if my bags would have been a little bigger, that also would have been okay. And when I got to the airline, they don't make you like dip your shit into those containers before you're allowed on the flight. They kind of just eyeball it a little bit. And someone on my flight in the airport bought a Lego set. So this was a 3rd thing. And they let him on the plane. So the rules confuse me. I woke up really early to get to the airport. And I had to do planes, trains, and automobiles that day. I was on like literally every single form of public transit to get to our airport. And Valoni! Oh, he's here. I didn't tell you this, Valonius, and I hesitate to say it now. After I was able to get out of my neighborhood, we have a regional rail train. It's not a subway, it's not the trolley, it's like a big boy train, one less than Amtrak, I would say. And that train goes right to the airport, and it goes every 40 minutes. So I had like thrown my body into this schedule. I was like, whatever one I catch. But when I got to the train station, I was 3 minutes shy of catching the one earlier. And I ran to the train station. I ran up to my train, and I was like a minute shy. And then I look up at the board, and the train is 5 minutes behind, so I didn't have to run. But since I sprinted like a full 6-minute sprint, my throat was so dry until I was in Florida. I had like a I was like, they're gonna clock me with COVID. I'm gonna get fucked, but whatever. I really thought people are gonna be like, she has coronavirus. She's COVID-19. But nobody cared. So I got on my train that takes you right to the airport, and 3 stops before my stop, we're dicking, and the train comes to a complete stop. We're like, huh? We had hit an animal. I was like, this is a horrible omen. Hello? And I thought there would be like a procedure. Like, I thought like a service truck would have to come. I was like, oh fuck, girl, like we're not leaving this state today. Just quack things for real. I thought this train ride was going to be vegan. I was actually drinking like Rilakkuma green tea the whole time to soothe my little COVID cough. I was drinking it like so I'd have enough. No procedure. Just after that, the train like idled 90 seconds and then we were on our way. Now, that worked out best case scenario for me, who was on a schedule, but I thought at least someone would come with a hose. No, we hit it. The driver thought about it, and then I guess we couldn't, like, kept going. Sorry, guys. I sat in our train has a quiet car. I sat in the quiet car, which is the very first train in the line. So most people probably didn't know that we hit an animal. A bigger animal. Then I got to TSA. So I was so scared that this would take 5 hours, and I was only 2 hours early for my flight. But I got through TSA in like 25 minutes. It's really weird. Like you start working through like the velvet ropes, whatever they're called. And then it just breaks apart into many other lines and you choose with no order or anything, just you choose. And some of them are significantly shorter than others. I picked the longest one by accident, thinking they would all be equal. But I just showed my ID and I had to show my boarding pass in Philadelphia. Then it's just a free-for-all, whichever one you choose of like the x-ray machine. And I was talking to the guard or whoever, TSA agent, whoever, the cop. And I was like, what do I do? And last time I flew, if you have all your toiletries, your toiletries are all supposed to go in like a clear bag. And your toiletries, like, they can't exceed some limits. And I brought this hair product, which I love. Abigail, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for catching us. I'm talking about my flight. I really thought that they would take this hair product from me because it didn't qualify for like TSA, whatever. But I was like, maybe they won't. And I just threw it in here. And it really served me well during my trip. And I think that this deodorant like isn't a travel deodorant. I don't know. And then I also realized my purse, like outside of all this, had like a lip gloss in it. So I was taking this out to put in its own little container to go through the x-ray. And she was like, leave it in your bag. I was like, what? But I like situated everything. What's your magic hair product? So there's this new Japanese grocery store that opened in Philadelphia. I forget what it's called. And this is just has eyeliner stuck to it. This is just like a, it's just like a goop. It's just a goop. You can't use a lot of it because right now in Japan, one thing that they're really into right now is it kind of looks like greasy bangs with peace and love. So if you use a lot of this, you'll achieve that look. So I really just get my fingers wet with it. And I come in and I like press here. The name of it is Lucidou L Hair Wax. Lucidou L. And I buy the light blue one. It smells really good. Anyway, they didn't give a fuck. They didn't care. Same thing happened to me. There was signs in the TSA line that said to take out your bottle bag, and when I did, the guy barked at me that I didn't need to do that. Yeah. Literally, TSA has told me nothing out of the bag. Then, when they scanned it, they were like, there's electronics in here, and I'm like, yeah, a switch, and they pulled out and scanned it separately. Nothing makes sense. I think the TSA enjoys changing the rules to yell at us. Yeah, I had to get my hand swabbed because I wore a menstrual cup in the body scanner. Yeah, I was worried about that. Bold of you to risk it. I just figured they would throw it away. So they didn't throw it away. They didn't do anything. And they specifically did not want my sneakers in a like gray container that goes through the x-ray. They wanted my sneakers raw, and they wanted my backpack raw. And I was like, the straps are gonna get caught in the wheeling mechanism. So I put my backpack upside down, face down. I don't know. So I went through the full body x-ray. Well, it's like a washing machine thing. You like enter this tube and it 360 scans you. And it got me, and I was worried because I was on my period, so I thought maybe it would clock me for that. But it was my watch. And I was like, you guys can keep this watch. And they were like, no. Like, you should have taken it off. And then I was like looking around, and everyone had a watch on. So I was like, I think you should maybe run like a little firmware update if we can't wear our watch in the x-ray. But that was it. It literally, like, I think it took me like 25 minutes from beginning to end, and like tying my shoes and putting all that shit back on. And then I was 40 minutes early for my flight, maybe like 50 minutes early for my flight, which to me felt late. But I found my gate and everything like that, and I was like, okay, I'm super early. I'm super thirsty and coughing still. So I found a water fountain and then was able to put my makeup on in the bathroom. And then when I came back to my gate, people were all lined up. I was like, hello? I did not know. So let's say my flight was for like 9:15 in the morning. Let's say that. And I was putzing around 8:30, strolled back up to the gate. People were getting on. My plane left the earth at 9:15. I did not know this. So you need to be there early. Like, I thought they would start letting people on the plane at 9:15. Like, my boarding pass said 9:15. I was like, oh, my ass better be here at 9:15. No. That's when the plane goes into the sky. I did not know that. So I was really happy that 2 hours ago I ran for that train, because I don't think I would have been late, but I would have been rushed. Like, don't rush me. Boarding is usually 20-30 minutes ahead. So on my plane home, we didn't even get on the plane until after the boarding time. So I was totally freaked out. But so I didn't pick my seat. You can pick your seat for an additional charge. And I just didn't do it. Spirit emailed me 4 days before my flight and reminded me that I had not picked my seat. And I was like, girl, I don't care. And then I actually got a really good seat both times. And I got like first boarding both times too. So that was cool. I got a middle seat, but I liked that, I guess, because I was just reading the whole time. Anyway, I wore double masks, and the chaps I sat with both had masks on, but my flight home, no one had a mask on. So I don't know. So it was cool. I got on the plane, etc., etc. My bags were perfectly fine. You know, I'm scared of dying and the plane exploding and all of that stuff. But I think I was really able to hold it together. One thing I'm really scared of is I've seen in the news that like a plane will land and then the next plane behind it is like too fucking close behind and they almost crash. I was scared of that. Did you watch a movie in flight? No, I'll get my book that I'm reading. So I read my whole flight, and I'm reading this fucking book called Qcknd. Maggie does not want... She doesn't want any shit that rolls off the tongue. She does not want anyone to read this. She hates that I'm recommending this right now. This is a Margaret Atwood book. She wrote Handmaid's Tale. I think my cat just broke a vase downstairs. She wrote Handmaid's Tale, and I've been meaning to read this, but it wasn't... I'm gonna sound so annoying. It wasn't giving me anything, but I had a hard time reading The Handmaid's Tale, and everyone came and punched me in the face, but it's true. It is hard to read The Handmaid's Tale, and I found this really difficult to read too. So I wanted to read it on the plane so I would have no fucking choice. And I think that paid off. I'm a little bit more than halfway through. My flight home, I got a window seat, so I didn't end up reading as much as I wanted because I was oohing and aahing. But if you guys want me to talk about this, I have plenty to say. So I read this on the flight there and back, and that occupied my time. So I didn't buy Wi-Fi. You can pay for Wi-Fi on the flight. It's $7. The guy next to me bought it, but I just read the whole time, so I just texted my loved ones before the plane took off, and they don't tell you to, like, put your devices on airplane mode. I don't know. I don't know if you need to anymore, or just no one is going to do it. So I did put my devices on airplane mode, because I'm a good girl, but I just read that book the whole time. I thought I was going to finish it, but the flight home, there was a couple things I like reread to understand, and then I also sat by the window, so I didn't read the whole time. I feel like paying for Wi-Fi on the flight is where I draw the line. I can be disconnected for that at least. Yeah. That's what I told myself. So I just texted John, like, I didn't pay for the Wi-Fi, LOL. I'll check in with you in a few hours. My flight to Miami, from Philly to Miami, was fast. We got there ahead of schedule. And then my flight home was late. So I don't know how that works. I figure you're flying. Is it not the same way? I don't know anything. But my flight was cool. I could smell the guy next to me, like too much cologne, but my brother is like that, so it was kind of comforting. Yeah, I've never splurged on Wi-Fi. Last time I brought my laptop and me and my partner watched Harry and the Hendersons. Yeah, I was gonna bring my DS, but like I said, I have this book. Everyone's telling me it's good, so I just brought it, and I was like, bitch. And I did faithfully read it. But I'm on there like, shut up, Maggie, shut up. Yeah, so Spirit doesn't have any, like, recline or little fucking, which I liked. I like that you can't recline or anything like that. I keep seeing posts on Reddit where someone will, like, take their hair and put it over the airplane seat and shit like that. But Spirit was, like, kind of like a public bus. Just nothing. And I really liked that because give us the bare bones. Stop suggesting that there's more comfort out there for us. You didn't get half a Sprite and 3 pretzels? No, all of that shit is money. Everything extra is money. Because I would have gotten a Sprite. A fucking Sprite from a can? I'm only human. So, once you get up to the altitude where they turn off the fasten seatbelt signs or whatever, they push a cart down the aisle, and tucked into the seat in front of you is a food menu, which is like, you can get a cup ramen. It's not like food. It's like snacks, and it's snacks you recognize. Like, it was literally like cup top ramen you could order, and they fill it with hot water for you or some shit. But from the menu is a QR code, and you scan it and you pay for the thing. I've been on a handful of flights and always got at least 2 cans of soda, granola bar, biscotti. A biscuit. Yeah, I did not want to pay for anything, so I didn't do it. Really, I was full cheap. If the Sprite would have been free, I would have got it, but so would have everyone else. So I feel like maybe they also have all these charges so that the people who just want to fucking fly can just do it. And I'm kind of down with that. I think I told you guys, I don't know if I was streaming the last time I went to YouTube, but I stayed in a hotel, and I couldn't find a hotel that didn't have an amenities fee, but I was only staying for one night, so there was no way I could even touch any of the amenities. So if I could stay at a hotel where you pinky promise not to touch the amenities for a discount, I would do that. So if Spirit is doing that, I have always wanted that. So that's cool with me. I'm so sorry, man. They were torturing you guys. It was a government experiment. Honestly, like, I didn't pick my seat and ended up with a really good seat, I think, because I was boarded first. Or is boarding first not good? I have no idea. I was boarded first, no fee for the seat. I didn't want Wi-Fi, so no fee for the Wi-Fi. I didn't want any food, so no fee for the food. So for me, that's perfect. Can't stay, but a rousing GM to all my beautifuls. Hey, Dirty Sweet. Thanks for popping in. Alcohol on a plane dehydrates me so much. Otherwise, I'd be sipping in style. Give the girls a Sprite. Come on. Yeah, I definitely would have taken a Sprite if it was free. But if it meant my tickets were cheaper, I could wait for a Sprite. Anytime. Yeah, I wouldn't be paying all these plane microtransactions either. That's definitely what it is. They're there if you want them. I don't want to use the plane bathroom, so I also didn't want to consume any liquids. Obviously, if I was on a very long flight, it would be different, but yeah, I said no to airplane microtransactions. And I think I had a good flight. I did not crash. Everything was cool. So when I got off the plane, I have never met Valonius. Never ever. Sure, we've talked like on Discord and video chat and streamed together and all of this stuff, but we have not met. Was he smelly? I'll get to that. Yeah, so I never met Valonius, but I sent him my boarding pass and he had like tracked my flight. So he was already there and he paid for parking. I was like, this is a really nice person. So I'd never met Valoni, and I was coming down the stairs and I thought, like, I saw the people holding signs, like the limo people, they're like holding signs. And I was like, oh no, it is so embarrassing that I'm walking down these steps. It is so embarrassing that I'm here. I am so embarrassed. But actually he was at the wrong gate. So we avoided that kind of awkward, like 90 Day Fiance when, there was this one episode of 90 Day Fiance where they met the person at the airport and they put all rose petals by the escalator and fucking the janitor came by and started sweeping them. And I was like, oh my god, I do not want to walk down these stairs. Luckily he wasn't there. There was one other like face tattooed alt person on my flight who I noticed come down the steps. I was like, where were you? But then I met my Valoni. And it was awesome. Like you have all these thoughts, like, am I going to recognize him? And it was like, there he is. That's him, actually. A 1,000-yard awkward wave from afar, an embarrassing trek over to whoever you're meeting. Yeah, I said kill me instead, but it actually all worked out. 2 awkward people had the best case scenario. There's the blue eyeball guy. He definitely stood out. It was like a lot of people, I would say, coming from Philly to Miami. So a lot of jackets, a lot of people dressed in brown and just like hunched over, like waiting for their luggage and shit. And then just this jovial, like, street style guy, like weaving through the crowd with blonde hair was like, hey, I'll make it extra embarrassing next time. Yeah, the guy's like holding the sign waiting for the person. I was like, oh my god, don't. So it was really cool. Got in the car and I experienced some local culture shock that I've learned that other people experience, because there's palm trees with coconuts. So I came from Philly and it was 31 degrees when I left Philadelphia, and I came to like a beautiful, I don't know, like 75-degree day in Florida. So I packed away my jacket and everything like that, and then suddenly I was in this like groovy paradise. Florida is very flat, so leaving the airport, it's just all there, just served to you on a platter. Like, here is everything. Philadelphia has a lot of hills, a lot of ups and downs, and it makes the skyline and just what you can see beyond where you are vary by different altitudes or wherever you're standing. So that was cool. The palm trees, the coconuts, no one making a big deal about the coconuts. I asked if people eat them, and he said probably not. The highway coconuts, no. One thing I noticed in Florida also is there's a lot of really nice cars on the road. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the East Coast, we get a lot of like shitty weather. We get snow, and we salt the roads for ice and snow, and we also salt the roads if it's really, really cold. And all that salt does so much damage to cars. It's really common to hear that your car is really rusty, that the frame has failed on your car. My grandparents had a Cavalier that they always said they would give me, And then a couple years ago, the frame failed inspection. And I was like, I don't mind helping you guys get the frame repaired, especially if one day this Cavalier will be mine and I could enter the Cavalier Club. My plumber has a Cavalier, and that was very important to me. But they said that it was an impossible fix. A few weeks ago, our friend called John and said the same thing. My frame isn't passing inspection. It's completely rusted through. So completely common that in Pennsylvania, the car on top will look fine, and underneath, the car is rusted so badly that it's crumbling. My crush has a Cavalier. Cavalier Club is for sweeties. Being from the north, people boasting about buying a rust-free car from the south is such a thing. Yeah, our current Bronco is from South Carolina, and it's the only reason it exists. So you were seeing a lot of really nice cars on the road. The roads are flat, and there's not potholes, and there's not salt. So it's this perfect kind of moist environment to keep these old automobiles on the road. So that was one thing I was like oohing and ahhing about a lot. And Volonius is really good about pointing out, like if we're sitting in traffic, he was really good about pointing out like a car I would want to look at. There was a lot of really cool cars, a lot of also very expensive cars. There is a lot of wealth in Miami, but I guess also just pockets of regular ass people. So you were confronted with like extreme wealth, but we're all shopping at the same supermarket. I thought that was really interesting. Something to feel fun and dabble in. One thing I'll say, and I can go into it a lot more later, is everyone was very nice. Everyone was really nice, and not that like swarms of people were coming up to us and saying, "Hi, how are you?" Just there was no tension. In Philadelphia, there is a lot of tension, and every situation for some odd reason becomes tense. And it's you versus them, like, very, very quickly for no reason. Even like when I got on the bus to get to the airport, there was a lady taking up 3 seats and was just like scowling at everybody, despite like if anyone was looking at her, it was because she was doing something like socially rude, but just like, say something to me about what I'm doing. So there's just like little there's just a lot of tension in Philly. And in Florida, I was not confronted with any like tense situation at all. We were walking around the mall, and I really was just like tits out. It was cool. It was all really nice. We went to a coffee shop, and the barista was nice. And the barista took their time making whatever, and the people behind us in line were not like, they were just chatting amongst themselves. So, however small or, just that little tension, it was very noticeable that it wasn't there, for me at least, coming from the East Coast, where someone is ready to yell at you about anything. No, my tits weren't really out, but my shoulders were back. I just felt, in Philly, you're really just tensed up, like ready. You're just ready for whatever's about to happen. And if you're not, then you're slipping. And you never want to be caught in that. So I did notice that people generally were just a lot friendlier, a lot less tense, a lot looser. And that spirit is contagious. I didn't see, and I'm not saying it's not there, but I didn't see litter. I didn't see like a fucking old tire on the road. I actually saw street sweepers, custodians, things like that, taking care of the side of the road. Other things, lots of little quality of life things that I feel like running for mayor. I feel inspired to take these things back to Philadelphia where they do not exist. Island time, baby. Really, really. Would you ever move there? I don't know. I'd have to drive. I noticed some public transit infrastructure, but it's few and far between. I noticed some bike lane infrastructure, and all the roads are flat, but I did not see a lot of bikers, like bike people. I saw what I assume to be tourists riding bikes, those bike cruisers. Florida's a different world too. So many retired people just day drinking and chilling. Yeah, I saw this dude who I thought was just doing karaoke to the street. And there were old people dancing. Yeah, I think also it's very expensive. Bologna's called it the paradise tax, and I could definitely see that. I'm also thinking, though, that people must live longer there, so maybe that's the trade-off, that, like, your life is extended by some amount. The heat would kill me for sure. Yeah, coming from the East Coast, I found it to be really warm there, and while others thought it was a cold day. Like, we went swimming the last day, and I jumped right into the pool, and there were locals there, like in long sleeve and jeans, who couldn't imagine swimming on that day. Like, it was too cold. Living longer despite the gators. Living longer in spite of the gators. Moving to Florida is what caused me to learn how to drive. Yeah, I think you would have to have a car, and be a little bit more financially stable or secure, perhaps. And I do think probably owning a home would be challenging. I saw a lot of rental properties. I think some people do own, but you don't get a lot of land. But I'm not sure if people want the land in Florida or if the land gives you anything in return. I noticed even in, like, more affluent developments, like, we drove past the development that The Rock lives in, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. We drove past his development, and he doesn't even really have a yard. But does he want one? I don't know. I would want land, but I don't know if that's a Pennsylvania thing where I wanted a little tree or something. Yeah, it's expensive to live out here. I'm trying to move out to Florida. Yeah. I thought it was expensive. We went to the grocery store a couple times, and I found some things to be more expensive than others. Gas was $3.17 a gallon, and John and I got gas yesterday, and it was $3.49 a gallon. So that was more expensive in Pennsylvania than Florida. I got the pub sub. I got a pub sub. I liked it a lot. They have a vegan pub sub right now. It's called the Turkey Club. Vegan Turkey Club. So a pub sub, if you don't know, is a hoagie from the grocery store in Florida or wherever else Publix is. And I think, so they make their bread in-house, which is amazing. We have a place called Wawa that used to be Hoagie Mecca, but now their bread tastes like shit. And they don't have any vegan options, and they don't even try. So I thought the pub sub was really good. I thought the bread was really good. I think bread makes the hoagie. They make it in front of you, and you're very involved in the process. I thought because I was ordering a sandwich from their little board that is pre-made, I would not have to be involved in the process. But you're there, you're involved, you're the star. The vegan BLT comes with vegan ranch dressing, and I think BLT usually comes with mayo. But whatever, I got it how it is so I can taste it, and I really liked it. It was $8.99, I think, for the sandwich, which I think is pretty fair because it's vegan, so it's made with like fake turkey and stuff. So I would pay a little vegan tax on something like that. Help me fit in, because my comrades also got sandwiches. And then on Wednesday, Publix had $5 sushi, so that's what we had on Wednesday. So I thought that was really cool. Did it come with chips? You could do like a little chip drink combo, but I bought a box of tea for the week, so I figured I didn't need to do that shit. You could do the chips though. Went to Miami in February and ate at a vegan restaurant one day. When they gave us our food, the waiter said "Dale" like Pitbull. I loved it. Oh, hell yeah. I have a Subway close to me where I live and I no desire to get anything. So Subway's bread is dog shit. It's not even like legally bread. Did you have a tummy ache on Friday? Me? I was fucked up for a minute, but I think that I ate something fucked up. Did you try cheer wine? I don't think so. It was a $5 sushi joke. Oh, sorry. Oh, well, vegan sushi is just like carrots, so you're not really gonna get fucked up. By midweek, though, I was like, I really need, like, rice. I really need, like, some shitty Chinese food. And I noticed there was not, like, a shitty Chinese food spot. I was like, oh, bro, I need some fucked up food. So that was cool. Lots of, like, some creature comforts that weren't there. But then there was an abundance of other things. I really wanted us to do yoga while I was there. And I did not see any yoga places, but I saw a ton of Pilates places. So that just must be the flavor. Chinese food sucks down here. Okay. Yeah, I was like, so my Philadelphia timer is up and I'm going to need some shitty Chinese food. Did you see a manatee? No, it was on my bucket list. But there wasn't a lot of time. Like, I thought that, like I said, I thought a week would be too much time. And by the third day, I would just be standing in Volonius's living room, like. But we did not have enough time to do, like, a lot of stuff. Do you mean mermaid? We'll find a manatee next time. Manatee was on the bucket list. We did not see manatee. And between two antisocial people, we didn't realize that I flew down during spring break. Cause I thought my tickets were reasonable. I said, I'll pay that. Nothing to indicate to me that something was afoot, but I went during spring break. A lot of the time while I was there, Miami had a curfew, and I believe the curfew is like 8 p.m. A lot of the streets were blocked, and Volonius Drives has a car, so we were doing car a lot, and we would just find streets either completely blocked by like police or like full of traffic. So Girls Gone Mild. We were definitely Girls Gone Mild, but not only was it spring break, but it was also Riptide. It was Riptide and whatever else you guys said. Red Tide. Red. What did you guys say? Ant Flow. Red Algae. Red Bloom. And like Tekashi 6ix9ine or something got beat up while I was there in Miami, so we kind of played it cool. We didn't do too much really touristy stuff. I think we primarily did like friends hanging out stuff. Like when your friend comes over and you finally have an excuse to go to this place, which is really cool. I like that. We didn't have time to go to the zoo. It wasn't enough time. Um, the first night I was there, I feel like we did like bestie shit, and then the second night we did bestie shit. There's this comic book store in South Florida called Tate's, and Valonius has told me about it a million times, so I really wanted to check it out. And my expectation of it was completely different than what happened. It was a really, really, really cool, independently owned comic book store. And the lore is the guy who owns it opened it when he was like 16, had the dream of opening a comic book shop, opened it, it was successful, and now it's so successful that he doesn't even have to work there, like, is its own thing. But it was a comic book shop that had like an amalgamation of everything, like heady collectibles in glass cases of like Star Wars, things like that. Hard to find other things at retail. If you're a manga head, there was I think a really good manga section there. They even included some used manga, but it was like a random slice of life issue 7. So I was like, okay, like I'm glad that it seems like they must have a program where you can buy and sell used manga. I always love that. No used manga I was looking for. But if you collect manga, they had Monster just on the shelf for retail. I thought it was so crazy. I instantly bought it. So it's just a manga that's really hard to find on the shelves. And when it is on the shelf, resellers buy it up. So not only is it difficult to come across, but if you don't find that shit first, you're not going to get it. Kind of like Chainsaw Man, like 2 years ago. So I was able to buy Monster for $20 retail. Not me getting a plane ticket right now. It was so cool. Tate's is really, really cool. Lots of really cool decorations. The owner has a private collection of really cool stuff. And you see his private collection displayed throughout the store, which I always appreciate. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I could buy that. But his private collection was so severe that it didn't even seem like something I could buy. I was like, yeah, that Astro Boy is not for sale. Did you see the art nook upstairs? Yes, I really liked it. So the downstairs at Tate's is like comics, so much Gunpla, like so many Gundam kits, the biggest collection of Gundam kits I've ever seen all in one place. And they also had a bunch of like retail Gundam building accessories, like Gundam brand from Japan, tweezers, paint. All that was really, really cool to me. They had a bunch of like stands so you can pose your Gunpla or whatever. So they had this. They had a ton. They had really, really cool ones I've never seen before. They had a series that are like this, like, but not Hello Kitty, but like small, like exaggerated little bits, and I thought it was so cool. My only issue, I didn't want to buy a ton of stuff. One, because I spent $1 while I was there. But I didn't know how I would get a lot of stuff back. So I did buy Monster. That was a requirement. They had a lot of good manga, a lot of stuff that I'll either see online used because it's from Japan, or like they had Studio Ghibli licensed blind boxes. I've never seen those. They had I guess there's this comic now called Fight Club 2, and it's by Chuck Palahniuk, but it's a comic book, and they had signed copies of Fight Club 2 signed by Chuck Palahniuk with a special Tate's limited edition cover. I wanted to like leaf through Fight Club before I bought it, but since it was signed by Chuck Palahniuk, it was in a plastic sleeve, so I couldn't look through it. So if you guys like Fight Club 2, the comic book, let me know. Maybe I'll ask my dear Valoni to go cop that for me. Because I liked Chuck Palahniuk. It's been a while, but as a Palahniuk girly, wowee. Yeah, I was super tempted to cop just on instinct. But I didn't know if a Fight Club comic book would be my interest. But, if this comic rules, this is the Tate's limited edition, the Tate's exclusive Fight Club comic book cover. And then this is Chuck Palahniuk's autograph. Not that I want to start collecting comic books, but I love that Tate can foster a community where they can have, their own covers. I love Fight Club, but I did not like Fight Club 2, girl. I'll send you my copy if you want it for free. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really wanted to, skim through it, but, because, these green character guys, I'm like, I don't know if I like all that. Yeah, I haven't fucked with Palahniuk in a minute, but when I saw this, I was still like, wow, that's legit. Tate's was super cool. The upstairs has a little art, kind of like Instagram Etsy girlies section. Lots of enamel pins from small artists, and then tons of prints. I was obsessed with some of the prints. I really, really, really would have copped if I wasn't worried about shipping a print home or, anything like that. And also, I felt like spending $50 on something might be irresponsible. But and maybe next time or whatever, but upstairs is super really cute. If you've never been there and you live in the area, pop up there as well. And just really neat, just really cool to see somebody do something for the culture, which would be host this giant fucking comic book store. So Tate's is really cool. I thought everybody was super friendly. Happy to grab Monster at retail. But I'm told that Tate's takes extra care to put this stuff in their store, the harder to get things, or maybe the things that aren't going to bring in 1 million customers, but they'll bring in one special customer. And you find less and less of that. So if there's any excuse for me to celebrate something like that or patronize it or whatever I need to do, take my money. And then I also got a Doraemon blind box. Scene, I guess. It's you don't know what you're gonna get, and then you can get one of 6 little scenes from Doraemon, and it comes with 2 figures and fake grass, and you assemble this little diorama. Oswin, thank you so much for stopping by. Did you go to the tabletop satellite? I don't know if you're into card games as much, but it's 2 doors down. Yeah, so Tate's then has a second storefront that is for playing game. I'm not super into cards. I had my Pokemon phase and figured it was kind of cost prohibitive to get back into, but I do celebrate all of that. My favorite comic book store, Cyborg One in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, they have always been a card place that also sells comics and toys. So I always respect. So Tate's was really cool. Kind of like a hidden gem, I feel. Because it was just in a shopping center. Really unassuming. You would never, I feel guess that it was there. In Philly, in Pennsylvania, I am constantly on the lookout for places like this, and it's not uncommon for me to drive over an hour just to go to an even smaller comic book shop, so I think that it's probably a great asset to the community. It was super cool. Seb, welcome back to Philly Quiv. Hope you had an amazing trip. Yes. A little bit of sunburn. Spent $1, but I think it was a really cool trip. I feel like coming back, I feel super refreshed and eager to work. So I didn't go to Tate's satellite tabletop store, but I was happy that it was there. And then there's also like a record store. I don't collect records. I always say that I got into tattoos instead of records. How was it finding water? So when I came back from Florida, Philadelphia is having a little oopsie. Our water supply got contaminated. Up the river, this latex place spilled chemicals into the creek, and now it's coming down river into our water treatment plants. Ooh! So we're under a bottled water advisory right now in Philly. It is not a boil water advisory. The contaminants cannot be boiled out, so it is a bottled water advisory. All of my years drinking out of the tap for nothing. My footprint out of control. The water situation is so fucked up. If anyone wants Royal tap water, I'm in a Ziploc bag. Yesterday we went to New York City, and I got the water advisory when we were in New York. And when we left New York, it was around 6 p.m. And at that point, I got the water advisory, I think around noon, and it was supposed to go into effect at 2 p.m. So they gave us 2 hours in Philadelphia to find water. But we were in New York, and I was like, oh, gee, like, whatever. When we get back, let's get some water. By the time it was 6 o'clock, I looked on social, and all the water in Philadelphia was gone. So we got on the New Jersey Turnpike, from the beginning of Sopranos. We got on the New Jersey Turnpike, like right where Tony Soprano, right where the beat drops. There, we were there, and got off at the very next exit, which would be in New Jersey, but like touching New York. And people were filling their carts with water. So I'm thinking people from Philadelphia were driving and could not find water because we were 10 minutes outside of New York City and had to hassle with water. John let us get 2 cases of water. But Philly has not said how long we're under a water advisory. So, like, 1, people buying a fuck ton of water and hoarding it, and they live alone, and they're putting the water on Facebook Marketplace, they are bad. If that is not obvious, they are bad. But when we were in, I don't know, Hoboken, wherever the fuck we were, and we saw a lady with 6 cases of water, I don't think that that's bad. I think that that's fine because they haven't told us how long we're under a water advisory. They gave us 2 hours notice that we were under a water advisory, and this has never happened before. I've lived here my entire life. This has never happened before. Aren't we supposed to drink 7 of these a day? Right? So lady with 6 cases of water in your cart, if they're shaming you on TikTok, I think that you've done nothing wrong. Like, don't you have to get water for his parents too? So I called his parents when we were in Hoboken or wherever we were, and his dad said that he was fine. So I got water also for my block captain. So I got water for both of us, and his parents said that they were okay. I will meet you halfway with water if it comes to it. Thank you. So we got 2 cases of water bottles and I got 3 jugs of water. And water is like fucking free. It costs $12. And I also got those Mr. Beast cookies. They're horrible. Don't even get them for the meme. I'm not taking the piss. Like, those Mr. Beast cookies are so yucky poo-poo. How do I say this? When you were younger, did you ever drink Capri Sun and you went to your friend's house and they had a flavor that was like, ugh? The Mr. Beast cookies from Walmart leave an aftertaste in your mouth like bad Capri Sun, including the film. I don't know how he did it. And they're really, really salty. So Philadelphia at large, do not try these cookies this week. I had bought a bottled water at the gas station before the crisis, and I drank the whole thing after one Mr. Beast cookie. They're so nasty. They're salty and filmy. They leave like a residue. It actually pissed me off. I was like, this motherfucker, what is it? Does he think we're cattle that we're just gonna eat shit because his name is on it? I thought he would go the extra mile and make something delicious. His cookies are so yucky poo-poo. Deep fried flip-flop, hello. Thank you for being here. Thank you for using your Prime sub. Worldwide, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to this channel for free with your Amazon Prime sub. Absolutely free to you. You get Discord benefits and no ads, and it's super free. My dyslexia misread info about the leak, so I thought one of the tweets said laxative got leaked instead of latex, and I was thinking that people were going to be buying up all the toilet paper too. Sebra. Mr. Beast's next video will be donating 10 million bottles of water to Philadelphia. I hope so. I hope so. Bro, people are really being shamed on social media. But, like, 1, water is really cheap. And 2, we don't know how long the bottled water advisory is for. So people buying 2 cases of water, that's not crazy. So between John and I, we have 1 case of water. He's a maniac. He said that we couldn't buy more. I think we could have reasonably bought 1 more fucking case. But I don't know. I'd rather everyone get 1 case, but none of the stores had limits, so that's not how it's going to work. You know, just because we bought 1 case hoping someone else could get 1 case, that's not how it's going to happen. One guy is going to buy them all once we leave. So the water advisory, what I did when I came home is I filled up a bunch of water vessels and I put them around our house for like lesser water needs. So brushing your teeth, stuff like that. I just have like big reusable water upstairs for brushing your teeth and stuff. Stores did not put a limit, but we were given 2 hours notice. So I think stores didn't know what to do. Yesterday, all the Starbucks closed at like 3 p.m. What can you do without water? We don't know when this is going to stop, and New Jersey may be fucked too. Yeah. I do drink a lot of water. So this morning we had the jug of water, so we poured that into our kettle to make our coffee. John let me sleep in this morning, so when I came downstairs, normally I would dump out whatever coffee is left and make fresh, but I just put ice cubes in the old coffee and made iced coffee because I don't know about the water. So I'm being pretty conservative with the water we have. I wish I would have filled my Brita before we went to New York, but I was being lazy, and now I suffer. Girlies make do. I was thinking, what were the restaurants do? Tonight at midnight, that's when the water's no good. Yesterday, it was supposed to be at 2 p.m. the water would no longer be good, and then they extended it to midnight tonight. I'm not pushing a conspiracy theory here. Just that makes me feel skeptical. So I'm already on bottled water. Cassio, my dear. Are you going to have to stay with friends somewhere else? So they said that even though the water is contaminated, they said that you can shower in it and wash your dishes with it. I don't know. Because it's contaminated with a chemical. Like if it was contaminated with salmonella, then you could boil it. But it's contaminated with a chemical. So I just feel hesitant to like shower and that chemical is like in the water. I did take a shower earlier, but like I said, the water effect doesn't go into midnight tonight, even though yesterday it went into effect at 2 o'clock and then they changed it because everyone freaked out. Wash dishes but can't drink it. Seems a bit sussy. So my dishwasher has a sanitize cycle. So I'm just thinking I'll make sure I put it in the sanitize cycle when I'm done. Oh my god, yeah, what if you had a latex allergy? Yo, they interviewed those fools who spilled all that shit in the water, and they were like, it's not a chemical we're not familiar with. It's the same chemical in the paint that you paint your walls with. And I was like, bro, we don't drink it, though. Yeah, I've seen paint before. I'm not scared of paint. Like, bruh, and John didn't run the dishwasher the whole time. I know. I really want to wash our sheets. I really, really, really want to wash our sheets. So I guess I'll do that before midnight. I'm not eating paint, you dork. Me too. I'm on bottled water just in case. I don't know my water that I was drinking while my BF was like, LOL, stop drinking it and tasting. And it was tasting chlorinated. I don't know. I've never had non-boil advisory. So on the Philadelphia subreddit, starting like Friday night, everyone was complaining about a smell. And then Saturday, even my like neighborhood app, whatever, was like, what's that smell? I didn't smell it, but I was also inside. So I'm thinking people like walking their dogs or jogging must have smelled it, like people outside for a minute. So everyone was complaining about a smell, and then the next day we get a bottled water advisory. So like something fucked up happened. But one of the side effects of this is everybody's running to the supermarket to buy water, and it's making the lines really long. I've been gone for a week and I wanted to food shop, and the lines are like out the door and estimated to be 2 hours because now people are freaking out. And I'm not going to sit here and say that they shouldn't be freaking out. I think it was completely predictable that the city gave us 2 hours notice that the water was contaminated. People are obviously going to feel compelled to go to the store and buy water all at once. They have 2 hours to do it. Like, I really think that Philadelphia OEM like created a panic. Time to go back to Miami, real. We know that latex is just like paint. Girl, we know that radium. We know what radium is, and it doesn't mean it's okay to go in my water. Yeah. Yeah, I saw a bunch of people panic buying. I saw a video of a guy just putting like Evian in a shopping cart. And I'm like, that's gonna cost $100, and it's probably the only shit left. Imagine like
Imagine when you buy Evian, if you ever have. I buy Evian when I'm feeling the extraest ever. And I actually prefer Fiji. I think that Evian tastes like nothing. But Evian has the highest alkaline in water. I think Evian is 9 and Fiji's like 7 and this is 3. I had to do that for Hurricane. I had to buy Evian in Fiji. Bougie girl hours. His whole cart was full of Evian because it was the only thing left. So his ass was probably furious that he has to boil his pasta in Evian this week in order to make dinner. I also agree that Philadelphia should be giving us water. Our news posted this thing like, ask us anything. And I was like, where the fuck is the water? I thought I saw that water was safe today. I've been drinking bottled water just to be safe. Yeah, so yesterday, Sunday, they gave a water advisory that the water was safe until 2 p.m. And then they extended the water advisory to say that it's safe until tonight, Monday at midnight. Then it's not safe anymore. But it kind of feels a bit... I'm not a conspiracy theorist person ever. I'm a little uncomfortable by this sudden change, and I think midnight feels like an arbitrary cutoff. So I'm just not sure. I'm like, you can't take it back. You can't say, no, yesterday at 2, now maybe it's good. Like, I feel like you can't take it back. Exactly, like at 12, the chemicals are just going to sneak in. So from what I understand, and I could be wrong, the spill happened in Bristol, which is over above us in Philly. So the spill happened in Bristol. So the spill is like kind of contained. I saw pictures where they had like pool noodles, like keeping the yucky. So that water is coming down to our treatment plant. From what I understand, they saw it coming and turned off the treatment plant so that the yucky water couldn't get in. However, the treatment plant can't be left bone dry or else it will break. So they have to let a little bit of water in, or else just the machinery will break. It can't be dry. So as of right now, they're saying the water that's in the plant already is not the contaminated water. But they will have to start letting the contaminated water in the treatment plant. But I don't know. So that's what I know so far from what I've read and digested, but I could be wrong. So I think they may be able to make that hard 12 o'clock midnight deadline because that's when they have to open the plant again to let more contaminated water in, or else the machinery will break. But with that information, I feel like I'm able to understand that a Brita filter will not remove the chemicals. Because if the water treatment plant water is coming out contaminated, that shit is way stronger than a Brita filter can ever be. So I think that boiling it won't help because it's not a bacteria that can be boiled out. It's a chemical. And then Brita can't filter it out either because the water treatment plant can't even filter it out. My friend working at restaurants were still giving tap because they ran out of bottled water and people were giving them a really hard time. Like they knew the ins and outs of what's going on. The Latex Comes at Midnight by R.L. Stine. Britta's doing all she can. It's funny, last week before I went to Florida, I ordered like a super Brita filter. Just out of laziness, because I think like the super Brita filter lasts 3 months instead of 2. And I was like, oh my god, I should be getting that in the mail, but I don't think it'll work. I mean, I'll take a Diet Coke if you got no tap water. I know. I wonder if boiling the water would accidentally concentrate the latex. I think that it would. I feel like it would turn into a gas and just kill you. My sister is closer to Philly than me, and she was at the grocery store confused why everyone was grabbing water and she didn't get anything. I was like, oh no, you're too late then. For real. I've been thinking of getting 1 bottle of Voss and reusing the bottle to look extra. Free gloves? Never mind. Like, I make John's coffee in the morning, and then in the afternoon he gets a refill from a coffee shop, and I want to ask him what he did today. But I'm sure the coffee places are going by the water isn't good until midnight rule because they're running a business. But tomorrow, will they just be closed, or will they say, it's up to you? If you want to drink it, it's up to you. They're saying it's the same chemicals in the East Palestine derailment is the same chemicals here. And they told those people everything was cool. And then like 2 weeks later, they were like, maybe it's not cool. So I'm like, John, how about you don't go to Wawa for 1 day? I have not seen anything about the businesses closing. I think some people are going to be like, if you want to drink the water, you can. Get ready for your $5 compensation check. I'm about to. Is there any way for you to leave? I don't think it's there yet. Because I'm kind of thinking the contaminated water will go past us at some point. I think that's what they're waiting for. Unless it contaminated the soil and everything, like, I don't know. So is the treatment plant on the Philly River where you kayak? I was really thinking that. I don't know. I wish some people would be like, I don't think this is real with COVID, and drink the paint dookie water. I've seen it. I've already seen it. And I'm like, God bless you. I don't know who you're fighting, but good luck. Could you and John do a long drive to get more water if you're out? Yeah, I think totally. Like, we have to go food shopping. I don't know what he ate while I wasn't here, but I opened up our almond milk earlier, and I could tell it had gone bad because it was so fat. It looked like it was about to explode. So we do need food. He ate bones. He really ate bones. There were like crumbs in our bed. I was like, were you eating in our bed? Oh God, who's gonna tell the Amish? They're fine. They're all good. They'll be alright. Did he run out of toilet paper? I think this is the last roll, the one we're working with. I'm eating in bed, don't judge me. I used to eat every single one of my meals in bed. I was wondering just what he was doing the whole time. And you're gonna gag. He was reading manga. I was like, oh, cool. You just got into my biggest hobby while I was gone. Yeah. Cool, that's crazy. He read my lesbian experience with loneliness, loved it, And now he's reading all of her books. I said, what the fuck, while I'm not there? Are we able to know what you were working on with Vil in Florida? I'll have to text him. I don't know if it's a secret. Like, I know it's a secret, but I don't know if I can say it yet. He also has all the content. I don't have any of it. Okay, but was he reading manga because he missed you? I hope so. I really, really like that series too. Please, I thought this was real. They fucking got me. This is the first AI thing that got me. I feel bad about it. I can't believe this wasn't fucking real. I'm so sad that this is AI and not real. They really fucking got me. I was like, my boy wearing Versace? Let's fucking go. He's cold as shit. Yeah, no, this is AI. It's not real. It's not real. After I looked at it too, I was like, you know what? Yeah, maybe they photoshopped his little stupid head on here. I thought he was fucking cold. My fucking boy. They even put him in like... They even gave him like a little shit to hold. I was like, is that his coffee? Now that I know it's AI, I'm like, yeah, what the fuck is that? The first time I saw it, I'm like, is he holding a coffee to go or something? But it actually, now that I know it's AI, I'm like, yeah, this is an object I cannot understand at all what he's holding. I'm saying my boy, but I don't give a fuck about this dude. I'm just saying that. I'm trying to be funny. They fucking got me. It's raining. Can you give me 1 second? I'm gonna turn my rain barrel is upside down for the season. I'm gonna turn it upside down. I'm gonna turn it right side up. Is that crazy? Just for my houseplants, right? I don't think I can water them with the tap, right? Just give me 1 second. Thanks, guys. I had to run out. I have like a big barrel in my backyard. But I felt... Oh my god, did my phone ring the whole time? Okay, it's spam. Inu, how are the potatoes doing? In the backyard? Wait, I forget. What did I miss? It's okay, we answered the phone for you. I think it was a spam call. They left a voicemail in Mandarin. I feel like I want this to be up. Yeah, that feels less scary. Yeah, I just wanted to run outside and... Oh! These! They're doing okay. Actually, this one has mold. Get rid of that. Get rid of that mold. They're okay. Nothing new. No new growth. I was dead up thinking that our stream that we ended things on was so fun. So, I didn't completely forget. No new growth yet. I don't know how long it would take, honestly. I hope this isn't moldy too. I looked it up and it said the mold is okay. Just move it. Just move it around. After we finished stream, I repotted a couple of my plants. You can see my pepperonis are now in that little planter. And I repotted my Qcknd plant. Yes, I cleaned my whole office before I left. I want to clean the rest of my house. Yes. This is Orcs and Cronks. Let me know what you think of this book. It's one of 3, and I have the other 2 books, so I get to punish myself even further. This is the Doraemon thing I was talking about. It's just like a little diorama set. And I got this one. There's the glue and tweezers. It's like really severe. It's actually quite an undertaking. You have to build everything. So I haven't built it yet because that seems like a big deal. And it was $10.99. I didn't think it would be that involved for kind of a reasonable price. So I'll build that. I'll let you know how that goes. I also got these. A couple besties of ours in the chat and community work at Lush and gave me the heads up on these. So, this is Mario and Luigi for the Super Mario Brothers movie Lush collab. I really like Luigi. You see Luigi on the bottle, and it's the like CGI Luigi from the movie. And the flavor is a crisp, fresh apple scent. For those times you must shower and go. I think he means like, let's go. And then the Mario scent is like more complex. Wahoo! Cart yourself away in the shower and enjoy this sweetly spiced blend of lime, black pepper, and pomegranate juice. It has a thing. I'm still trying to smell it. So this flavor is like more complex than Luigi's just apple. But the Luigi is a fall apple. And this smells like Coca-Cola. I don't know how they do it, but it smells like soda. So if you have a little kid or you are a little kid, this smells like a refreshing fall body wash, like a fall apple, not like a candy apple. Not like a Bones, not like a candy apple, but like a nice mature fall kind of apple. And then this smells like soda. I'll give it to you straight. They were $12.50 each. It came to $26 with tax. These are the smallest bottles you can get. They come in a medium and a large as well, but I wanted to try both, but I think I like the Luigi more. But it is that like vibrantly booger green, like electric, just boogery green. I don't know if it's giving. It's kind of giving pastel, but it's like chemical green. And here's the Mario. Not like a Jolly Rancher apple, yes. And slime green, yes. So Valonius has given us the go-ahead to talk about our project. I'm going to wait until the Qcknd is gone. They are cute. So I just bought this body wash from Target that is supposed to be like a body wash, like a face wash for your whole body. I saw it like on TikTok or whatever. Well, I saw it on Twitter, but I saw the Twitter of a TikTok. And I get like back knee and stuff. So I actually just bought like a trending body wash. But every time I shower, it's an adventure, so I'll probably use these regardless. Wow, hello? So, I went to Florida to start making content for Fan House. We were talking about starting a Patreon, and we were talking about starting a fan house, and we talked about starting an OnlyFans, etc., etc. And we landed on Fan House, And Volonius went out to LA and had a meeting with Fan House. And one thing I really, really, really like is Fan House protects all of the creators' content with a watermark, and Patreon doesn't do that. When we were talking, and I think I've talked about this on stream before, even when we were in negotiation with them, I was listening to a podcast that was stolen off of Patreon and re-uploaded onto YouTube. And I know, shame on me, the podcast doesn't exist anymore, so it's kind of in that gray area where there's no other way to get it. But at the same time, like, it just shows that it's very easy for people to steal this content and do whatever they want with it. And Fan House protects all the content with a secret watermark that, like, they can see. Anyway, so we went there to shoot for Fan House. So Fan House, just putting it out there, just saying this out loud, it's all safe for work content. I am just making extra content and putting it on Fan House if people want it. And at the same time, I also feel like Instagram and the spirit of different social media platforms have kind of changed. So I feel better about creating content on a platform that people like sign up to see. So all of that'll be there. My the theme, or I guess like what I'm focusing on, is kind of fitness and behind the scenes content. So I have been working out and like losing weight and getting healthier in the last year, and I've found that it's challenging to post that stuff on Instagram, especially to a mixed audience who may not want to see it or may feel uncomfortable seeing it or triggered by seeing it, which I totally agree. Like, that can be tough. But then I also get a lot of feedback, like people asking me questions about it and stuff. So I feel like on Instagram, where you're not asking to see it, it has its challenges. But if it's on Fan House, then people can access it if they would like. So Volonius and I, for the majority of my trip down there, were training, running and doing like body workouts and stuff, which is pretty cool. That is, you know, a majority of the stuff I like doing. And I think it can be a really good challenge for me to document that stuff and kind of document my gains and see where they take me. So we were shooting stuff for that, and then from like after we debut my Fan House, then that's where that content will exist. So I'm thinking maybe like weekly, like, or monthly walking challenges and different things like that. So OnlyFans can have, Fan House can have, it has like a feed, and there will be stuff behind paywall, and then there will also be stuff that is free for everyone to see. So will only be fitness. No, a lot of it is also going to be either behind the scenes or like Fan House sees it first kind of stuff. I get kind of shy on my Instagram posting stuff because I know that like brands follow me or tattoo artists follow me, and sometimes I feel like I'm just not totally myself there because I wouldn't post something and then like Akira, this like famous tattoo artist, sees it. Sometimes I feel really shy. I've thought about starting like a Qcknd, like super Qcknd Instagram that is like not like a Finsta, not like a personal Instagram, but it would kind of be personal Instagram where I'm just a little bit more comfortable and open. And that didn't work out either. So this is also going to be a little bit of that kind of revival, since I, you know, I I feel like Instagram for me isn't that place. It's very professional and kind of polished, and you put your best foot forward on Instagram. And then I stream, and it feels like a completely different person. So it's also going to be a little bit more of a reflection of that too. And I can feel comfortable that people aren't going to see something that they didn't sign up for. Because they know what they're getting into. They know they're getting into like that. So while I think more people know what Patreon is, and they're used to it and they support people on Patreon, my fan house is going to be kind of my Patreon. They probably don't want me to say that. But just for the sake of clarity, things, if you have a Patreon, really someone can go on your Patreon, take screenshots of everything, and then make a private Discord server and charge people to look at it, or give it away for free and just be a weird creep like that. And it happens to our friends. So it's not something that only happens to the most famous or most e-girly or anything. Like, it happens to everyone. So just for the sake of security, which we've also amped up around here, this seemed like the best place to land. I'm not a creator, but I understand some of the feelings. I want to shitpost on Insta, but my aunt will see it. 100%. My uncles follow me on Twitter. My other uncle follows me on TikTok. Like, and I know it's because they're proud of me, so I don't want to block them. But it makes me not, talk about a lot of stuff. My family does not follow my Insta, and I post all the time on my close friends, but rarely on my regular story or the grid. Yeah. Yeah, but you can't post Joel thirsts with the fan watching. I know. A private space online is important. Yeah, so exactly. And we did like a lot of cool stuff. Like, I used to do a lot of modeling, and I stopped because I thought it was kind of embarrassing. And in the same breath, I can also say, but like, I'm not embarrassed. It's kind of a weird thing where you can't control who sees what on your Instagram. Like, you can show your partner something that you might feel shy about showing to your friends. Like, that's completely natural. But online, we're supposed to show everybody everything. I tweeted during Thanksgiving dinner, and I saw a notif pop up on my mom's phone. My whole life flashed before my eyes. Yeah. Like, when my uncle started following me on TikTok, it 100% was like, now, if I was posting TikToks 30% of the time, now I'm going to post them 5% because, like, my body is on there. And that has also been one of the things keeping me from posting fitness content. Is just, one, people can be really judgmental about that. Two, it can affect people different ways. And then three, like, it's kind of like my bod. It's like a little personal. We also did tattoo content as well. And I thought that was like the best place to put it. Because, yeah, I can feel a little vulnerable about that stuff. So it's funny how just taking it off Instagram and putting it somewhere else makes me feel more comfortable. And at the same time, the watermarking system on Fanhouse also just makes me feel better that someone isn't going to steal that content. And if they do, they'll get in trouble. So, all that. I'm going to crack this open. Ew, this lid is so small. So this is huge. I mean, we were in negotiations for a long time, and it was really hard for me to make a decision. So I did. And this will be cool. It'll just be a little space, and I will present it as like instead of Patreon, I have this. I tweeted my B-day makes me cry, and my mom tweeted back like, why? And I blocked her so fast, like, girl, you don't get it. She follows me on IG, but I blocked her from seeing my stories. Yeah, I blocked my mom like day one. Because like, yeah, like, this isn't for you. Yeah, I know that these are made like that to be made of less plastic. I was just having a hard time even like grasping it. Excited for you. Thank you. So I think like we'll make a big announcement soon or whatever. Little step, and then it'll be a place for people to support, get extra content, and kind of just like a little bit more comfortable, like bestie space that I feel like I have more control over. And also like the workout content will be there, so if people want to access it, they can. If it makes them feel uncomfortable, it's like, I think it's like blurry until you click on it. When she's Sporty Spice, jocular now. Yeah, I think it'll be really cool. And if anything, training with Valonius all week was super fun. I think that we really work out well together, which is tough. I don't have that. Will you still be posting on YouTube too? Yeah, so this is only extra. It's only bonus. Still posting on YouTube. I have a video that is probably like 4 hours away from being ready. Everything else is completely still the same. This is all bonus. And then it's also just like Patreon, it's just like an extra place if you also want to support the channel. But not like 100% that's what I'm doing from now on. Like how, like kind of how like Morgan Joyce kind of pivoted to OnlyFans. This is kind of just like my bonus. Like think of it like a Patreon. Like my bonus, my extra, but also like a home for content that doesn't really fit anywhere else. I wanted a place for that. So thank you. John nose hair trimming tutorial on the bonus page. I waxed my nose before I went to Florida. I waxed all that shit. I love doing that. I think it's so much better. I know your nose hair is probably like keeps particles out of your nose and stuff, but I say rip it out. Get all that shit out of there. TMI? You get the like, I get the bead wax and I melt it, and then I put a Q-tip in the melted wax, and then I stick the Q-tips up my nose and close my nose, and then I let the wax harden and I rip it out. It's the only thing I wax. I don't wax anything else. I'm a Nair girl. I'm a Nair girl all the way. Oh my god. When she waxes her nose, it sounds like the worst pain. I think it's way more painful to like tweeze your nose. I used to wax between my eyebrows. I think it's pretty effective. And in beauty school they said the more often you wax, the softer and finer the hair becomes. That would make my eyes water. It does. But it's quick. Could you do a mini pod with John if he wants to, of course? So my own podcast is coming out pretty soon. I actually have a Discord message from Ben. We have a couple episodes planned out. I wanted us to record 5 episodes before we came out as a podcast. So my podcast is coming out soon. And we already have a couple topics. Somebody on stream one time was asking me about the Moby documentary, I think about the vegan straight edge, and we have an episode on that now. So our podcast is coming out, if you wanted a Qcknd pod, she's coming. Keeping everything organized and, giving everything it's the same attention and care I want to be able to do. I don't want it to seem like my podcast is like, oh, and I have a podcast too. Like, I don't want it to seem like a little, I want it to be like, I'm also, it's the same amount of attention and energy. Wait, I missed it. What's the advantage of waxing nose hairs? You rip them all out at the same exact time. So if you're tweezing your nose hair, it could take a while, but also it's like ow, ow, ow. But this is whoosh, ow, one. Also, you get to look at all the hairs on the wax when you're done, and that is satisfying. How long are the episodes? We're thinking less than an hour. So the podcast is coming out. The fan house is coming out. The only thing about fan house is it just sounds like OnlyFans, so I think that's confusing. But it's safe for work content. I scream at the top of my lungs. 9 hours each episode, please. I think we'll just let them go, and if they become tangents, then they can be their own episodes. I've been reading all these how to start a podcast guide and whatever, and I feel like I'm just gonna do my own thing. Everyone recommends that your podcast should be 30 to 45 minutes. So we have we have guidelines, but we're just gonna do our own thing. Have you already revealed the pod's name? I feel like I should ask Ben before I do that, but I haven't. Okay, now it's really raining. I feel like we might want to wrap up stream before we get any lag. Let me open up a browser window. Okay, we don't have any lag, I think, but we're streaming in 160p. Does that suck? Oh, maybe I've done that to myself. Was it like that the whole time? I'm so sorry, everyone. One of my favorite pods is 10-hour episodes. Have you been listening to the new Joanna songs? Somebody sent me a zip file of all of them, but I didn't bring headphones to Florida, so I haven't sat down and listened to all of them yet. I've been waiting. I showed them to Valonius, and he wasn't screaming, crying, and throwing up like I was, so... Have you been watching anything in place of The Last of Us? No, I haven't been home. I did watch The Mandalorian Saturday, and the newest episode of The Mandalorian was hilarious. I loved it. You mean he didn't have a religious experience? That's odd. So, I am a Joanna maniac, and it was rumored that she was going to open for Fleet Foxes this last Wednesday, and it did in fact happen. And she was testing out new music, and I think also played 2 OG songs. She played Go Long and Sawdust and Diamonds, I think, which I have a tattoo for. So all of us Joanna stans kind of knew that that was going to happen, and Inu probably knows best. She's testing out new music for a new album that is supposed to come out in 2 years. I feel like this album is going to decide if I have a child or not, so she better hurry up. But, Fleet Foxes besties, Joanna stans. Yeah, they came out with a poster I need to buy. But I thought it was kind of crazy that, like, Joanna was their secret guest, but then they had these posters. I'm trying to wrap my head around exactly what happened. It feels like an alien experience. She said she has 11 songs so far, and she played 5 of them. So I saw her test Divers at Pitchfork Music Festival, and then I think it was 2 years later that Divers came out. The poster sold out? Fuck, dude. You sent me that as I was at the gate for my flight, and I was like, okay, I have 10 minutes to buy this poster, and I didn't do it. 2 years, that feels so long. Yeah, and when I saw her play Divers at Pitchfork Music Festival, it felt so different than how it ended up on the album. So she'll probably change those songs around a lot, but even though she has them written and has tested performing them, it'll be, I feel like, a really long time before they're perfected and put on an album. So I think 2 years is exactly how long it'll take. But thank God she's making music. And we found out that she does have a second baby and that it's a boy. They're not even recorded yet. Yeah. Pitchfork, I think I saw her play Divers, and she played... What else? Sorry, I'm looking at the tracks. I guess I could just look up the track listing of what she played at Pitchfork Music Festival. I'm sure that exists. Beginner Joanna fan here. Does she wear those fabric bracelets so her skin doesn't rub on the piano, or is just because it's cute? It's just because it's cute. She's like a little... She likes a little fantasy, a little grandeur. I feel like she played... I can look it up. That's so Serve. She played Sappho, Divers, and Leaving the City. Early. Yeah. Everyone else at Pitchfork Music Festival was just yelling. And I was like, we are experiencing history. If you don't shut up, I'll kill you. Hey, we can't rush perfection, right? Yeah. I was convinced that we weren't going to get a 5th album, and I was okay with it, and I was just being quiet about it and really brave. So this is all a pleasant surprise to me. This will also be my first time participating in, like, Joanna Hive. I I have never been a part of the fandom. And for the last Joanna Newsom tour, I mean, you guys know that she's the sun in my sky. So for the last tour, I did get a ton of messages from you guys kind of keeping me on track with where I should be. And sending me, you know, pre-sale codes for tickets and stuff, which I definitely needed. So there's huge advantages to being like in a fandom, but never in a million years did I ever think that Joanna would have one. And I think now everyone has perfected like their involvement in being a stan. So you're seeing like the same level of Swiftie fandom, like very meticulous Swiftie. You're seeing those isms in Joanna Newsom hive. It's very strange to me and I love it. It feels light years away from when we would share Joanna Newsom concert DVDs, and when Have One on Me came out, I recorded it on my voicemail so I could listen to it in the McDonald's basement. It feels like 100 years away from that, where all of us are now keeping track of each other. And, you know, I don't love, like, Joanna's really private, so I also don't like when people get too close. I don't see a ton of that. I see a little bit of it. There's people talking the recordings from the show. Oh my god, sniper. So I think that Swifties as an industry leader, yeah, put Swiftie on a resume and you're definitely getting a call back from me. If I had a personal assistant, and they said that they were a Swiftie, hired. Fucking hired. 100%. Yeah, so I'm actually really excited to be a part of that, but I also feel like grandmom, I don't know what I bring to the table as far as being a stan. I mean, I'm absolutely my devotion, but as far as like finding out she had a second kid from a blurb in a Weird Al article, like, wow. However, I did find out about her wedding tiara by finding out her jewelry maker. So I am a little bit creepy. And I do follow her hairstylist, like things like that. A little creepy. But, you know, within reason. I don't think she would be mad. Has anyone ever figured out, like, if you look up Joanna Newsom tattoos and that one, like, white boy comes up and he has his whole chest, like, the East album cover. Has anybody ever met him or know anything about him? Do we need, like, a YouTube video about this person? Wait, I would love to see the tiara. So I saw the tiara in a magazine. I saw it in print. Has anyone ever figured out who this boy is and kissed him? Oh, now there's a lot of Joanna Newsom tattoos. I don't know if we'll see it. Oh, no. It always comes up. Hold on. Yeah, I don't want it to feel competitive. Especially as Joanna Newsom's #1 fan. Has anyone ever figured out who this is? This has always existed. Like, this tattoo on this person is older than... Look at the camera. Who is this? Who is this person? Just exuding sex. Who is this? Red sheets. Who is this? That's Andy. No, it's not. I've always wanted to meet this person. Oh, shit. Who put this here? Who indexed this? Joanna won't see that. It's alright. Joanna's hands are full with this fucking god. This god among men. This... Who are you? People who do, like, internet... Like, solving internet mysteries videos. I got one for you. He got this before any of us. He was like, I have an idea. I don't see other tattoos in this image. He lives like on a houseboat. Like, what is this place? This is the coolest person ever. It's so large. It's the biggest Joanna Newsom tattoo, I think. I can say confidently among all of us. He's got the biggest one, and he has the first one. A flash sheet? Ah, bro. I love this. I can just hear him cawing. There's mine, lol. Looks like he's in a dorm. This is so good. Hello? Hello? He's such a fucking legend. This is so good. The fucking yes. Have you ever seen that thing where this person went around and took pictures of everyone who had Morrissey tattoos and turned it into a book? We need to do like a besties Joanna Newsom book. Joanna Newsom tattoo book. Did you index this as a Joanna Newsom tattoo, or is the internet this good? I've always wanted one of these. This could be on me, except for the beard. Because I have freckle shoulders. This is so sick. We're all so completely deranged at this point that we're gonna get tattoos for her new songs. I love that. This is fun. It's a way better sawdust and diamonds tattoo than mine. Mine just looks like a dirty rock. Do you guys say Cassiopeia or Cassiopeia? What horrible website is this? I want to see this. Oh, you can't see because I'm in the way. I want to see this cross stitch one. Please, no, God. Oh, wait. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. No more of that. Everyone knows that was an accident, right? Am I gonna get in trouble for that? I just texted Bolognius. Okay, nobody saw anything. Beans, okay. Okay, that was like definitely an accident. Okay, well, Polonius made a joke. Okay. Well, this is why we need a Joanna Newsom tattoo zine. Since there's no safe way for us to look at this. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. Okay. I think we'll be okay. I didn't know Google would do something like that. It was like some fucked up website where you like it shows you images from Tumblr, and then when I clicked to enlarge, it snuck me. Here's another Qcknd. I can't believe fuck yeah Joanna Newsom is still around. It took me a long time to realize she's holding a sickle on the East cover. Yeah, I feel like it would be heavier than that. This kindness prevails rules. That's our new, it takes strength to be gentle and kind. I'm not clicking on anything. We cannot enlarge. Anyone thinking about Kat Von D right now? I feel crazy. Okay, well, I don't know how this works, but I didn't mean to do that. Speaking of tats, did you get out to Miami Ink? Yeah, so we drove past Miami Ink. I would have loved to have gone inside. I'm 100% that bitch. A little t-shirt. I would think that that was fun. But we didn't realize that I was in Miami during spring break. I've never once thought about spring break, so it didn't cross my mind. So Miami was pretty mobbed. So we were able to drive past Miami Ink in the car. And it does still have like a Miami Ink sign outside. Sorry, I'm frazzled. So that was cool. I was actually watching NY Inc. this morning because I was trying to get a screen grab of the episode where they go to Miami. And when you take a screenshot or like a print screen or a screenshot, it takes the image away and it just gives you the subtitles. And I got to get ready for Miami. Squats. So I just took my own damn picture. But, oh my god, NY Inc. is so nostalgic for me. I think NY Inc. is the best, like, Miami Inc. spinoff. LA Inc. was so weird and convoluted at the end. I think LA Inc. got the best, like, celebrities on it, though. And I think it better represented, like, walk-in tattoo shops. I think the talent in NY Inc. is really high. Like, all of the tattoos come out really, really good. There was more variables, I feel like, on LA Inc. You would get a stinker. I'm kind of in denial that Yoji Harada died. I know, me too. And no one talks about it. Bruh, I remember going to Build-A-Bear as a kid and naming my bear Pixie because one of the girls in the tattoo shows was named that. I'm dead, yes. I hope she's still tattooing. I remember I made a video about all that shit and I had looked up everybody and I was very much in the know. I think my brain thought it was useless information though because I don't remember a lot of it. I wonder if I wonder what Ami is up to. I feel like he definitely got into NFTs. With peace and love, I like Ami. Or I don't. Did he do something? Or I don't like him. Here's Ami's Instagram, AmiJames1. Owner of Miami Inc. 5 points. He owns 5 points? Hello? Love Hate London. Love Hate Cork. Award. What? Why can't I click on these? He blocked me? This is nice. I like that flower. That's cool. I'm not seeing any NFTs. Maybe that might be one. Ami actually posted from the Miami shop yesterday. Could have met Miami? Ami is doing hand poke tattoos now? That's cool. He's still out here learning. There was an episode of Miami Inc. in season 1 where they all, I think, learn how to do hand poke tattoos. And Ami does a frog, I think, or he gets a frog. Pixie's a fitness girl now, I think. Wow. Ooh, do you have a link? Okay, so this is what Miami Inc. is all about. Is this photoshopped? You go to give someone a high five and the buck comes out. Bah. These are nuts. No, this isn't real. Wait, let's all get this. Some of these posts are kind of weird. This is a sponsored post. Oh, Pixie has their own website? Do it for the dopamine. Join my Greece retreat. Yo, let's mob it. This is about to be me. I'm on the same path as her. Did she get a cat tattoo? Like, did they each get tattoos of each other? Her Insta says spiritual wellness coach. I believe it. I believe that she had to find some peace, man. Damn, she's fucking shredded. This is cute. This typeface. This is cute. 9-year master instructor. Damn, she's shredded to the max, man. She can surf? Well, I guess she's in Miami. Valonius, are you here? I just bought this shirt in green, and when I wore it to your spot, oh my god. Is this her? This looks like her. This kind of doesn't. There's the episode of LA Inc. where they get like a consultation and get a boob job. Someone find her tats from the old LA Inc. episodes of cross-reference. There's an episode where Kat gets a portrait of Pixie. Time flies. 15 years ago, you would get portraits of people for respect. Now you don't really do that anymore. Look at her little microphone. Her cheek piercing scars. I want to know what the front desk girl from NY Inc. is up to. She was a stinker, if I remember. She was not sex positive. I have a portrait of my cat for respect. You should get Vil as your hip cover-up. I love cat portraits. That's not what I... Those are always good. Wait, did you say cat or pet? Cat. I'm still scrolling, sorry. I feel like the percentage of tattoo artists that are fit is higher than the average general public. I wonder if it has to do with, like, if you are tattooed or pierced, you might have just a different perception of, I don't know, you might want to just experiment with your body more, I feel. Like, experiment with how it looks, like get really jacked or something. Definitely love a cat portrait. Not a KVD portrait, though. Yeah, what's Cat up to? Okay, I'm definitely starving. And I'm in fucking shock from that website. And I'm so sorry. I didn't want to see it either. I'm so sorry if your kids are here. I know I be cursing, but the environment is a little less that, and I'm sorry. I guess I'm cutting stream here. I know I didn't finish completely talking about Miami, but I did post a little video on my Instagram Reels. Check that out, and I'm going to be posting more photos from this week on my Instagram as well. I had a ton of fun, and thank you guys for the support and letting me take a week off. Stream is definitely on Friday, and this week I am hopefully posting my YouTube video. I have time. If you need water, your family needs water, let us know. Definitely. I don't have any updates about the water situation in Philly, or how long it's going to be, but if people start freaking out, I will definitely keep you guys in the loop on all of that. Of course, go get yourself a treat. I want to chug water and eat pasta. They said conserve water, and I was like, no. Now I want it so bad. Yeah, fingers crossed for Philly residents, and my people in Jersey also, it sounds like, are being affected by this too. The city will update the public at 5 p.m. apparently. Okay, we're not too far from that. No, we stay on stream for the update. That seems kind of cruel. I will drink extra tap water out of respect. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Does anyone want to lead the raid? I feel like I also owe a few raids. I'm literally making lasagna. Oh, actually, you don't need a lot of water to make lasagna if you're making the oven bake. Maybe that's what I'll make. Thank you for having me. Home safe. I guess, do we want to raid Poppy? Is anyone leading the raid, or should we just raid a little bestie? I have 2 sips of cold tea left, and I feel like I shouldn't waste it. Oh. Oh, you just, okay. Qcknd. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, bye.